It's mid-October, dipping into late October. I'm out in Idaho looking for mule deer, the general season tag. It's cold this morning. It's 20 probably. It's a very familiar area to me. I hunted it last year. I came at it with a little bit different angle this year, and still hunting the same herd, but somewhat trying to catch them on their migration down into their winter range, at least the migration out of the high country. This herd has been known to migrate by basically a date on the calendar versus by snow pushing them down. And so I readjusted my strategy a little bit to hopefully try to catch them. It's later October, so hopefully it should just get better and better. Seen a lot of does so far this morning. I would say more than we typically see in the higher country. So maybe the migration theory it's not really a theory, I guess it's pretty set in stone, but I'm seeing it, which is fun to just see deer. Just got out on this point, and there's like a nice bull elk right below me, and there's some cows and stuff in there as well. So the habitat looks awesome, like so good. So I can see like a series of ridges in front of me, and I'm just gonna sit on the glass and try to pick a buck out this evening. It's really cool, some of the statistics on the study that they did with this herd. The mean travel was like 38 miles, 40 miles, and the furthest was like 68 or something like that. But that's a long ways. I mean, those are, most of those are mountain miles, you know? I suppose it's not much for a deer to be able to do that, but that's a long ways. It's pretty cool, I think. So yeah, just looking forward to, like, theoretically, a migration as it gets later. It should pick up and get better. And I would think some of the bigger bucks would probably be the last to leave, but maybe not either. I mean, deer do crazy deer things, and sometimes you just really don't know. So it's really cool observing this so far, though. I've been trying to pay attention to tracks and like on the roads and trails and stuff, and they seem for the most part to all be trending in a certain direction, which is really cool too. Saw some does like first thing this morning, actually kicked them out of some thick aspens, and haven't really seen too much since. So it makes me think that that's probably where most of them are, is in the thick aspens already. The full moon can't be helping us, the warm weather can't be helping us, but it's the dates we have to work with, so we're just gonna have to adapt and make them work. I'm thinking probably go to some steeper country, maybe a little higher in elevation, and see what we can see. So this afternoon I'm probably gonna make a loop around. I saw a buck come out of this drainage last light, following a little group of does, acting smidgen ruddy. Looked like a nice buck, but it was pretty dark. So glassed it this morning, didn't really find him. And now just have to up the trail a ways, and I'm gonna make it up this ridge here, and it should be like shooting across the canyon once I get to the top. So we'll see. We're going there. Maybe further. There's a storm kind of going around us, and it's making the wind do some goofy things. So I hope that's gone by the time this evening comes around, so I get a little more steady winds for scent purposes and then for shooting purposes. I don't want to have to deal with a lot of wind, but it looks like from where he came out last night, I'm like 400 yards, so there's not a lot of cover right here, but I am not like on a tippy top, so I'm just gonna try to scoot around really slow so I can glass into this hillside and really pick the trees apart and see if I can come up with a buck bedded or something. Just found a buck bedded. I haven't looked at him yet, but I'm gonna throw the spotter on and see what he is. So he's laying kind of behind a tree. I can't really see all of his antlers, but I can see the right side and kind of the beam on the left side. So I'm just gonna wait here till he stands up and then see what I feel like. The wind's gone down a lot, so I'm feeling good about that. I'm having second thoughts. I don't want this to be a replay of last year, but I want to be really excited about if I'm going to shoot a buck, like feeling very, very good about it. He's just not there. He's just young. So it's hard. Yeah, it's like a huge dilemma. I feel like I'm always up against is like, do you shoot a nice buck that you have in front of you? Or you pass him and you don't get a shot. You don't get a chance at another deer at all. I didn't punch my tag last year. But that doesn't change the fact that I want to feel really, really good about the buck I shoot.
Southwest Idaho, Wednesday night, mostly cloudy. Rain and snow likely. Lows in the lower 30s, except in the upper 20s in the mountains.
It's a little frosty, but it didn't snow. Rained a bit, but I think the ground's so warm it just soaked right up. So we, last morning walked out on a point, like right in the middle of deer country. Just trying to glass. Catch anything moving. It's cold. It's cold this morning. It's probably 20. So let's see what we can turn out. That does it for Idaho General Deer for me. I really thought that it was gonna be more hopping, but it wasn't, so it's all right. Gotta get back to camp and pack up. We're headed out tomorrow for Colorado for mule deer, so more mule deer to come, but for now it's all for Idaho. All right, we are Colorado bound out of Idaho. We've got 12 hours to go or so. I drew a mule deer tag down in Colorado for this last part of October, first part of November. Super excited. Theoretically, the buck should be starting to think about does, and so I'm just hoping we get some bucks on their feet. I've got my wife Leah with me. She's behind the camera. Gonna be an extra set of eyes, and we're pulling the trailer down with us. We've got the Can-Am. Hopefully we'll be able to be really mobile like that, and our trailer is also our camper, so we're gonna be able to have some good camp time, and yeah, super looking forward to it. It's gonna be an awesome time in Colorado. Well, just rolled in to Colorado. It's steep, but about what I thought it was going to be as far as kind of the lower stuff is pinyon juniper. The higher stuff is going to be true high country. It looks like they did get some snow actually a couple weeks ago. Some of it is still pretty snowy in the trees, but the open areas are melted out. So should help with tracks a little bit. We'll be able to kind of drive around up there and see what there is for tracks. And yeah, I just zoomed in on Onyx up a couple of these canyons and found places where it looked like people had been camping and marked them down. So we're just gonna drive up this road and see if there's a decent camp spot we can pull off into and get the Defender unloaded and get our orange on and go rip around this evening and see if we can just see some deer, start taking some inventory, and yeah, just get a feel for the unit. So it's pretty exciting. I'm like getting amped up again. I'm nervous because I've never been here. That makes me nervous, but yeah, it'll be a good time regardless. We're up pretty dang high. Just got the glass set up. Brought the side-by-side up through some snow, some of the old snow. Honestly, did not see many deer tracks at all. All of them were very old. So I'm thinking they're probably pushed a little bit lower, but we're on an awesome glassing point. We can see a ton of country for probably 2,000 vertical feet in elevation difference. So maybe we can kind of see where the deer tend to be and then pick out kind of the elevation band and focus on that. But there's some real goaty and sheepy looking country that we can get into. We're pretty high now. We're glassing at almost 11,000 feet.
Bedded down, or what is it?
She's standing up, kind of facing away from me. It looks awesome, but I don't like it. I mean, this is kind of still, I guess this kind of would be like still hunting. And I'm hoping that I can get to some place where it opens up and I can glass the hillsides, but I like things to be a little more, me to be just a little more in control. Be able to glass them and then make a move instead of just they could jump up right now and then you'd have 5 seconds and then your chance is gone because they'd be gone. We just ripped up this trail kind of mid-morning just to see what it would look like. On the map it looks like you come around this corner and it's all like an open hillside with some aspens on it, and it's just all aspens. You can't see 50 yards through that stuff, so we're gonna go back down, take the side-by-side out, and go somewhere else, try it again. came down into some lower country, and we're picking up a lot of deer this morning. It's fun, actually. Seeing a lot of bucks, smaller type bucks, like real young, like spindly. They don't have any mass, really no good forks. I feel like we're on the right track. Like it's starting to get fun again. So we're utilizing the Can-Am a bunch this morning, glassing it a long distance, but it's really cold and it's kind of breezy this morning, and being able to sit in here is just like we're glassing from roads, but it's letting us glass more effectively, I think, because we're just a smidgen warmer and out of the wind. Well, the snow showed up along with about 40-mile-an-hour winds, and we cannot see anything right now, but at least I think when this is through, it's cold and we're gonna have some snow as a backdrop to make deer pop out. So
Maybe it just feels like it's like blown the snow. It's not staying.
I don't think there's gonna be a lot of it,
Yeah,
but
just a little bit.
yeah.
Thank God for this side by side. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, at least we can get up here. If I was outside in this and had been out in this for
I wouldn't be. I would
a
be
little bit, like I'd be
jumper.
going to the vehicle.
Yeah.
We've got 3 bucks that came out in between snow squalls, and cannot tell what they are because it is literally so windy and it's shaking the scope so much. They're 1,000 yards from me, and there's not enough time to get over to them. I'm just gonna have to sit here and watch them. I'm just gonna stare at them and see if I can halfway get an idea what they are, but their frames, at least 2 of them, like the frames look good. So I have fairly high hopes that with this weather and then it being cold all night, like they'll be out there in the morning and we'll be able to pick them up. I think we're on the right elevation. We're just gonna like book it through these, and it's like another 650 yards, and we should be in an opening that we can shoot across, or at least see across. Did you bring any snacks? You betcha. Yes. Provide all time. Always prepared. Scout's honor. Sweet hat. Thanks. I like to go like this. You go like that. You look like you're from Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Yeah. There's a buck right there. I know, I'm looking at him. Big 2x2. Yeah. There's a big, like a mature 3x3, really tall, cool looking buck. He's just too far for super comfort, so we're gonna try and close the distance by half or so. But I don't know once we get up there if we're gonna be able to look through the trees. So. He slipped us. In order to get close enough to him, we had to get on the opposite ridge, which is completely timbered, and just hope that there were enough little openings to like thread the needle. I found one opening that he was standing in at probably like 300-ish yards, and he was looking downhill pretty beamy, and turned around and just kind of fast walked off. A little frustrating. I thought we had it. I just needed 15 more seconds. through, I don't even know if you call this a Hail Mary, this is more like a trick play. We had a plan for the morning, and then last night, an elk hunter dropped by camp and asked if we'd seen any elk. And he told us where he had seen a couple of 4-point bucks earlier in the week. So we just came in here this morning. It was kind of a lengthy hike in, but did it all in the dark and got here first light. Had like 10 or a dozen does with a few smaller bucks just out in front of us right now, and our wind must have swirled and they kind of took off running, and they were about 400 yards, and we were trying to sort out what bucks were what, but they're still smaller, like nothing like he was talking about. So we're just gonna keep going up the ridge here, trying to glass over both sides, and hopefully we'll catch them on their feet. First 4-point we've seen. Wow. We just rolled in. We went from the high country to the low country to the middle country to feeling like we had bucks getting figured out, bucks giving us a slip, to then just a tip from a guy. Oh, let's go see him. This is always like bittersweet. Like, you know, filling tag is always the goal, but I don't think that's the purpose or why I like it so much. I think it's like being in the coolest place, being able to be around the coolest animals and like being where they live, and actually punching a tag is always like a little bittersweet. But it's awesome. I almost started crying.
I know.
I never cry. I never cry.
Your heart is just so big.
Thanks. Thanks for doing it with me. You're welcome. We're gonna do gutless method. Take 4/4 neck meat, back straps, and inner loins with the guts all in it. And then Colorado is doing mandatory CWD testing on all these deer, so I need to bring the head out whole and probably give it like a little extra to make sure I keep the lymph nodes in so they can take those out at the office.